20 sides to every story. My name is Casey. Tonight we're going to be playing some Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and we are at the end of the Dark Tower, the upcoming release by Goodman Games on the original Adventures Reincarnated line. On July 27th, they released their proofreading edition of the books, so I've been enjoying some of the art. And as a special bonus, oh no, you know what? I will wait. So there's one image that I do want to share, but I do want Andry to be here for this one. So I will wait on that one, but we've got an image to share. The party has just managed to defeat one of the chosen sons of Set, a lesser son of Set, a lich, and a whole horde of problematic skeletons, one of which was the Djinn Coil, a announcer, a crier, a precursor of the Sons of Set and the influence that Set has. So, with all that underway, also a quick shout out to the folks and friends over there in Gen Con, because we've got some friends hanging out there, and hope everybody's having a good time. So, loot. 350 pounds worth of coins. 5,000 copper, 5,000 silver, 3,000 electrum, 3,000 gold pieces, 2,000 platinum pieces, 30-some gems, a bunch of rings, some bracelets, an ewer, a statue, a gold coffer, a small idol of an elephant, a bronze crown with sapphires, a gold tablet inscribed with a bawdy poem, a longsword of magical sorts that certainly looks like it might be good for slaying dragons, a potion of treasure finding, and a spell scroll of gate are all discovered littered around the Lich's room, just in little piles wherever he happened to like them, kind of stacked up in interesting spots. The party has spent a couple of minutes recovering from their fight. They've shoved tons and tons of coins into their bag of holding. They've gathered up most of that loot. And there's the air of just something being a little bit wrong. There's a you've heard the click, but the bowstring hasn't snapped on the crossbow. There's a trap lingering here for you somewhere. But hasn't quite been revealed yet. So as we stall for a little bit of time for Andry, I will check in with the party for a little bit of a reminder. How you feeling after this battle? Things have settled down, and how's it going? I see Blitz has already updated his image with his standing tall atop his pile of loot. So how about we go over to Blitz? Blitz, as you look around all this treasure and wealth available to you, what's going through Blitz's mind?
He's thinking how mostly I think he isn't fully able to enjoy it, even as contrary to the picture, because he's just coming down from the adrenaline rush of thinking that Bowser had been killed. Because, he saw Bowser fall down and sparks flying out of his head and everything. And then mysteriously the pup sprang back to life. But he's not quite sure how that happened. But it's got him thinking now. He's got to figure out some fail-safe to keep the doggy alive. And he prioritizes that above himself.
Gotcha. And
so maybe you can invest these riches in some type of, protection for the pup.
Yeah, speaking of the dog springing back to life, I believe that happened when some of the Lions of Mitra had started to appear and bestow their blessings upon the party. The lions had been inhabiting the amulet, the ring, and the belt that had been worn by various party members. Those that are wearing those items are noticing that the shine has come off them a bit. They're starting to show the age of the centuries that must weigh upon them, and you're no longer hearing or feeling any influence from those devices. When the lions departed chasing after Manahath's spirit down into the infernal realms, it seems that those items have lost their power. Moving to the right here. Dahrian, as Blitz is looking a little pensive and concerned over Bowser, what's going through Dahrian's mind?
Well, Chris is mildly concerned that this lich was referred to in the intro as a lesser son of Set, so that seems dangerous. But Dahrian, he, being a cleric, knowing what liches do, is contemplating trying to figure out where this creature's phylactery may be, because he knows that they didn't actually defeat the creature, that it would be, utilizing its phylactery, that he may end up having to be dealt with again unless we could find that and destroy it.
Do you have anything that would help you discover the phylactery?
Probably at the moment, no.
I mean,
I am feeling although flush with cash, very spent as far as personal resources other than money. Perhaps a detect magic. There is the it was mentioned a potion of treasure finding, but Chris I'm not sure exactly if that would be helpful, but that may be an option. It would be magical in nature, perhaps a detect magic. I don't have it prepared. I'd have to ritual cast that or whatever, but I suppose I would be looking for any kind of superior gemstone or something like that. Also,
you got it. Searching about through the treasures, the fanciest gem that you can't see is one that is discovered amongst the pile. It is an invisible gem, much like the ones that you discovered for reading the maps. So you can feel that it's a gem. You can hold it in your hands. You can, tap, 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 know that it's a gem in that invisibility, but you can't see it. Based on the size, shape, and description, it matches the size, shape, and feel. You can't see it. It matches the description that Argon gave you about the Semaphane gem that he is requesting.
Oh.
Dahrian goes, oh.
Crap.
Maybe we'll share that crap statement with Tahir. Tahir, what's going on in your mind as Dahrian goes, oh.
5,863, 5,864. As the resident wizard and accountant of the party, he's made sure that everyone's get their fair share of gems, other fancy things, and whatever doodle bob stuff that he can find, and has 3 magic items that just is holding in his hands that he doesn't know how to distribute just yet, and probably won't. And then he'll say that, Dahrian, if you're really concerned about that lich and stuff, don't you have an orb that can find people? As he's going through, gem after gem of, this goes in that, nope, that will counterbalance this, and you shove the coins this way. Can't you just, scry on him or something? I mean, if he's not dead, he should be somewhere. I mean, you could probably find him that way. Wouldn't that help? You got that ball.
I believe at the moment he is, I guess, not among us, but he will kind of reconstitute over time. The amount of time probably varies on the power of the lich, but I can certainly attempt that, but I fear that the timing is off.
I mean, you never know. If you maybe it's not like a body thing, but like a soul thing. Like maybe he's just out there somewhere. It's like soul searching for something. You have to find what he's looking for. You ever get to that feeling, like soul searching? Like you don't really know exactly what you are. I mean, isn't that kind of where nicknames come from?
Sometimes.
Do you have a
Yes.
cool nickname? I never had a cool nickname.
I was never one that had gotten a nickname. Other than maybe perhaps Cookie. I mean, I guess
Turkey.
Aw,
Cookie.
that's
Yeah,
adorable.
because I was kind of the cook at the Abbey. A lot of times people would call me Cookie.
You know what
It's
we need
super
to do?
sweet.
We need to give everyone nicknames. Tann, if you had a nickname, what would it be? And I'm gonna pass it.
You got it. So Tann, as you're asked what your nickname would be and what's going on in your mind there. Oh, and Andry
If you
has
let-
joined us.
Oh,
Wait, maybe not. It just blinked for a second.
Oh.
Nope,
I didn't
I'm
even
sorry.
notice.
I lied. That was a Blitz blink.
Well, I feel like the most obvious answer is the goat. For the greatest of all time, clearly.
Clearly.
For me and all my
Obviously.
murders. For me and all my murder spells. Because I don't know how to help out with finding this thing either. I was just looking through my spells too. To see if there was anything I could do in help in finding a phylactery, and I'm like, murder, avoid murder. So much murder.
And I would say, Dahrian, as you think back on the scrying would target a creature or a location. I would say a phylactery would not qualify as the creature at this point.
Even if it
I
has
thought
the
as
soul
much.
of one?
Even if it has the soul of one. Otherwise, you would get a weird... Because it always has the soul of one, so that would make liches very weird to scry upon. Which I agree they should be, but I would say that pile of dusty bones over there is probably more the lich creature at the moment.
Nice. Then, I think you asked another question.
Sure. What else is going through your head?
He might be thinking he's a little tired. Because that was quite the fight from the 2 weeks ago that we did. I am 100% out of my sorcerer points, and I got actually more spells than I thought. Like, kind of surprised. But still got, I have options, but definitely not many. And honestly, I would imagine him like sitting on his little like goat legs, like kind of like how a dog like kind of sits on their hind legs as he's like watching like Tahir kind of go through the accounting, and he's like watching like one stack go to the left, and then he like pulls in like the item, and he just kind of like, I just see him like shaking his head and just being like bringing another pile back in, trying to divvy up and like balance it all out. And just kind of like nodding along as if he understood, but you can see in those goat eyes there's no understanding about what is happening. Maybe at some point like he'll start looking around the room though, because with the mention of like a phylactery, and like I don't think it would be kept like in the room in here, because that feels too, on one hand it feels like too close to the lich, like it risks like being easy to be found. But hey, maybe he likes to keep his password book on him. Maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe his phylactery is like under the chair, or like
Sure.
maybe there's a secret panel in the wall or something, like.
You got it.
So maybe he'll start looking around.
So the room you are in is a triangular room with a black marble floor. The ceiling is flat and rises 20 feet overhead. There's a stone throne opposite the large double doors that you had entered through. There's the skeletal form of a lich just sprayed all over the place from where it got destroyed. It is turning to dust as we speak. Tattered robes are scattered about. A number of locations where you can see the dust must have fallen around the skeletal feet of guards that had been standing there for days and days on end are kind of stamped out. They were the skeletons that marched out towards you to explode. The piles of gems and coins and jeweled objects that are slowly being organized by Tahir provide that set. But let's see maybe an investigation as you check out that big stone throne.
Ooh. Investigation. Fingers crossed. Oh yeah, that's an 8.
That is an 8. No player rerolls in the pot, so that's an 8 at the moment. You're checking out the throne, and you're looking at it, and you're like, I feel like it should recline, but that's maybe all you're feeling at the moment.
You might see him then like go over to the throne and like, you know, most thrones and chairs are not really meant for him, so he's kind of like standing on it at a weird way, like maybe like 2 feet up, 1 foot on like whatever tiny amount of ledge might be on that chair, and then the other on the floor, and then you can see him just going like.
I mean, you're trying to land an awfully large rumpus on this chair that was designed for a literally skeletal butt. Like it's half width at best.
Got a bony butt.
Yeah, he's Set was not a badonkadonk guy. So I think that's what we've got going on at the moment. So Tann's checking that out. Tahir's got that set. Dahrian's kind of giving a little consideration of the gem. Blitz is considering Bowser. Bowser is playing in the copious amounts of bones, I would imagine. And we'll figure out what Andry has been doing when he gets back. In the room, the form of the children of Set are disappearing, fading back into Ichor. And you do recall that they had mentioned that you are in the plane of the hells. You are within the abyss, and therefore probably not a good place to hang out for a very long time if you've made enemies of demons and devils. There is that large mosaic tiled area over there that you had used as the teleportation inward, but so far that has been dull and dead. No glow on that one at the moment. How much are you planning to proceed from here?
I do have a question. You said that the bodies have not disappeared yet?
They are decomposing as this is happening. So the lich is turning to like ashy dust. The big four-armed, crocodilian-headed, snake-bodied woman is slowly fading into Ichor as demons and half-demons do. The other two-headed, snake-eyed nastiness is also fading away, as is Kona the Dissenter. There were some skeletons and other demons scattered around, so it's a big old mess in there.
I might, in that case, in the spirit of Blitz, I might empty out 3 of the oil flasks I have, so that way I can fill them up with devil demon blood and maybe a little lich ash. Like I can get like my water skin kind of rinse and like
sure,
and shuffle that in, because we've been here before where we're like, did we get any blood? So he's gonna just start like stuffing it into the oil flask as much as he can.
As you start harvesting, go ahead and
samples.
Go ahead and give me a quick Arcana.
Sure. Sorry, Tahir, did you have a thought?
You see him just like has the really expensive gem, just like not looking at it, but looking at it, and just trying to like.
10.
So you are definitely able to harvest the materials, but they're not of a useful to magic grade. You know, you're sweeping up, too many fragments of this, too many fragments of that. So it's not really arcane grade lich dust. You'd need somebody with a little more discretion as they were harvesting. Maybe...
He's like holding the bottles, and then you see him like slowly like look over to Blitz and kind of give like the bottles a little shake, like, do these look right? And he's gonna like pass them over.
Yeah, you like pass them over, and you can see they're already kind of separating. Like the Ichor is sinking to the bottom, but there's a little film of the leftover oil on top. Like the lich dust that you have in there is like stuck to the sides and kind of clumpy. It's
I imagine too, like, because he's like Like, does it look right? And like when he's like swishes off to the side, like it all kind of like wiggles and jiggles in weird ways, like a little lava lamp. Like, it's probably really gross.
I commend your efforts as a budding scientist.
I learned through play. He seems pleased, but yeah, he's definitely looking to Blitz for maybe if there's a better way to do it, like he could use the container.
56,047, 56,048, 56,049,
Bottles of beer on the wall.
50. Quiet! Done! Take your piles! I'm sick of this. This, he puts like his own little special pouch. This is the dragon tax. No one touch this.
What's the dragon tax?
This is the dragon tax. This is, no one touch it.
Okay.
That's the invisible stone, right?
Yes.
I do want to take a look at it.
It's invisible. Don't drop it.
I won't. And I will take it. And I want to study this thing by casting that.
Sure. As you cast that spell, you are now able to see into the invisible. So you can see this is a magnificent gem. It's sort of a very well-shaped oval with a very unique style cat's eye sort of look to it. As you turn it, it really seems that almost at any angle you turn at it, it's looking at you. But as you turn it around, it's got different colors kind of flecked into it. It's an amazing piece. It's a shame that it's hidden.
This thing is one of the finest gemstones I've ever seen. I believe this is what we are in. We are in trouble. Let's just say that.
What do you mean?
Is this the phylactery?
I believe that it is. You would need a gemstone of this kind of quality.
Well, if that's the case, it's a good thing it's not our problem anymore then.
Yes, but it may very well be why the dragon wants it. Because basically, whoever controls this, for all practical purposes, the Lich is kind of yours to... Let's just say that if you hold this and the Lich would not be able to take it from you, you would have massive leverage over the Lich for it to do your bidding. I would say that.
Well, that's something to definitely think about. Ooh, maybe we should ask him that. We ask him, hey, did you know that your gem has a Lich in it? And see how he responds.
Yeah, that would be a valid question.
Also, are you sure there's a Lich in it? How do you know?
Let's just say it's a hunch. I think there probably would be ways you could. It would glow magical with a detect magic spell. I probably could do something to detect undead. Were we to have a paladin here or whatever,
like a bite, a bite test.
Yeah, and it seems to me that I've also read that for a Lich to maintain itself, it needs to, I think, feed souls to its phylactery. I think something like that. So there may actually be not only it may be that there is another entity inside of it.
You don't think it's that bastard who keeps body swapping, do you? You don't think he's back again, that piece of shit?
Possibly. I mean, that there's no way for me to tell. I'm just telling you the I guess umbrella lore on liches.
I thought that was a pharmacy.
So there could be something else, I guess, trapped inside that, another entity, another soul trapped inside that gemstone that is assisting to, I guess, its soul lending power to the lich.
Huh. Oh, hi, Andry. Are you done with your nap?
No.
Oh, okay, buddy.
Why did you wake me up?
Oh, if you had a nickname, what would your nickname be?
Andry?
No, that's your name. A nickname. Your name's not going to be Nick. It's like a suited. You probably don't know that word. It's like a name that's also your name. Like, how people say, "Hey, bro," or "Hey, dude, how's it going?" It's like that. If you had one of those, what would it be? Dahrian said his is. No, it's a different. It's not the same name. Like Dahrian, his is Cookie. Tann is the goat. Blitz, you have one?
Do you have cookies?
If I no.
A particularly curmudgeon-y professor at the university referred to me as a hunk of junk.
Oh.
I think we should just call him Hunk.
Wow. How's it going there, hunk?
All right, you got Cookie, Goat, Hunk, Andry.
And so,
How about Big Guy?
Big guy's good.
Big guy's good.
Okay.
That's a good one.
I have
What
no
about
idea
you,
what's coming.
Tahir?
I have no idea. I'm not going to say the wizard. That's already taken by someone else.
It is?
Yeah,
You call yourself that all the time.
I know, but but it doesn't really work if you call it yourself.
TP for teleport.
Oh, I thought you said TP for a second.
How about just the whiz?
Oh, the whiz.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I like it. Whiz. Yes. That's perfect.
We got Hunk, we got Goat, we got Cookie, we got Big Guy and the Whiz.
you got it. So as the names are associated, and Tahir finally finishes up sorting out those huge piles of treasure into the appropriate slots, and we will deal with some of that later. In the immediate future, there is a shiny longsword. So someone decide who's carrying that if they decide that they would like to use the shiny longsword. And there is a scroll which I think Tahir was going to be carrying. That was the only stuff I was worried about how it's being dealt out. But the pressure of the realm of the hells is upon you. And so maybe time to start thinking about not being here anymore.
Has anyone able to decipher what's on the door?
What
I
language
forgot about
is
the
it?
door.
I can do it. Blitz, I know you're also good with languages. Sorry, Hunk, my bad.
I'm not sure it's going to stick. I will certainly take a look to hear, or excuse me, whiz.
So, I believe we discovered that no one happens to have the appropriate language for Abyssal. But do we have anything close?
Infernal.
Okay, that's close.
Comprehend languages.
That's also very close. Are we doing a comprehend languages?
I think that's probably our best bet. Because we don't want to get it wrong, Wiz.
Okay, Cookie, you got it. Punk, do you want to take charge of this one? What do you think, Goat?
I think that sounds like a wonderful idea, Wiz.
You go with this idea, big guy? Oh, do you want the sword, by the way?
Yeah. What is it?
It's a sword.
Oh, okay. Sure.
We'll keep it in the bag for now. Just
No. I'll take it.
let's just keep it in the bag for now. So I'll tell you later, big guy. Once we're out of here.
Do you actually know what it is, or?
Of course I do. I'm Wiz. Wiz knows everything.
Oh.
I'm like a stream of knowledge.
Yeah.
And I think Dahrian needs to change his name, because every time you call him Cookie, I just want a cookie.
We'll make sure to bring you cookies when we leave Red Moon Pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think I heard a comprehend languages was starting to be done there. After a few moments, you check out the doors and you read a slightly untimely message. Here reigns Set, scion of evil, prince of dark deeds, in death yet living.
Thanks. Door. Jerk. Kicks the door. Waste 10 minutes on that. What? Damn it.
Over that 10 minutes,
Mhm.
there was a goblet, I think, that one thing that stood out for me was a goblin with a poem on it.
There
language
is a
was
body
that?
poem on a set there.
Ooh.
And the comprehend languages will give you the ability to review that poem. It is also in Abyssal, and it works its way out to that if you wish to get down, you got to lay down the bones.
Get down, you gotta lay down the bones.
If you wish to get down, and you have to lay down. No, it's not haiku. We're 2 syllables short.
Blitz looks over at
Set.
Bowser and I'm laying down in the bones.
But we're good now.
Hmm.
You gotta get down the bones.
Anyways, how do we leave? Do you
Well,
think it's
there's-
like this, the same way we came in last time? Like you gotta find the thing, you gotta pour the goop on there?
That's what I was trying to do. I don't know if it'll work though. He's gonna go and
Did
get
you
his
use oil flasks?
yeah. I washed him before I put him in there.
You know I had 5 empty healing potion bottles you could have used, right?
I didn't know that.
I was at 23,462. Damn.
He's gonna take the rapier he never uses, and if the body's still there, he's gonna like stick it into one of the bodies of the set. He's gonna draw the X on the like what they did last time.
Sure, you give one of the children of Set a poke and draw the big X and no dice.
He's gonna poke at it again, but this time, he's gonna draw like a picture of I don't know, pick one of the sons of Set, but he's gonna like draw a little picture of him.
Sure, you start drawing a little picture, and basically anything you draw can be correct. They're a very assorted bunch.
Yeah, true. He's like, well, that there goes my idea. As he's just like drawing on the stone with devil blood.
You want me to try and have a look? Sorry, Cookie, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, are there any bones laying around?
There's the lich
Really
bones.
There's like at least
Lich bones?
6 sets in the. You know, one crazy thing. I think I have the spell scroll of Gay that might work.
That probably would, but there does have to be a way out of here if you want to get down, assuming that we're up.
One must.
Andry is
Get
going to
up,
go
put it
lay
down.
down.
Andry just
I
like lays
have
down.
bones. I have bones.
I will grab the bones
Mhm.
of the lich
Mhm.
and carry them into that square.
Sure. As you come over to the square starts to light up for you. That kind of purplish, dark glow.
See, it works. All you gotta do is lay down.
So I was thinking, we use the spell scrolls. Okay, we can cast a portal into any place we want to, a different dimension, and that actually might work.
Ooh.
Cookie, you're a genius.
And it just starts glowing purple.
And it starts glowing purple.
There's got to be there's probably something that one has to say.
Maybe like first floor?
Going down.
Yes. Tower of Set.
Yelling timber.
Sure. As you're all, musing and trying different passcodes, the glow gets stronger and stronger. It could just be that it needed to charge up, or it could be that the words that you're using are incanting. I'll leave it to you to decide how you feel about it. Andry's taken full credit. But after roughly 30 seconds, the portal does open, and it looks as though if you stepped just a little bit further in towards the center, you would be taken somewhere.
Shall we take the plunge?
Do we wish to go further down?
I
Wait, is that where that goes?
There's only one way to find out, and if we can't get out of here, we're dead anyways. Because I'm not eating demons today.
Well, even if we go somewhere that we don't want to, you still have that scroll.
Yes.
Sure.
So
But I'd
let's
really
all
like
step.
to keep it.
Let's all step in together.
Okay.
All right, and as the party
Wiz.
steps... What?
Wiz, hold my hand. I just wanted to say that.
You gotta go. Wait, which hand?
He holds up one hoof.
As the party moves in towards the violet glow, we're going to break for one quick second to check out a little piece of art that came as part of the Dark Tower proofreading release that I just wanted to share out, because I know everyone pictures things in D&D in a little bit of a different way, and sometimes they don't all align. The monsters, of course, look a little different for each person, as do certain other things. But I just wanted to let you know, hey,
Art?
sometimes there's a piece of art that just speaks to you, and you say, that is definitely the good boy Murky in his cage, huh?
Oh,
Look at that! Look at that boy!
Look at him.
Murky.
So there's Murky, one of the pieces of art from the Dark Tower release, one of the updated pieces.
Is it by Cliff too?
Cliff drew it?
I can't speak to that.
Wow!
I think it does Cliff.
That is absolutely Cliff.
That is definitely a signature that looks a lot like Cliff.
That's awesome.
So,
Awesome.
Looking forward to the rest of the release. We will be using some of the content from the upcoming set in our Chosen Sons of Set, but that one I thought was really cool to share out. As the violet envelops you, you find yourself back in the Tower of Set. In the room that you left not long ago. Once again, standing on that mosaic tile. There are still some corpses and ichor and things around you, but otherwise empty. The tower is not in a great state right now. You can see those black stone walls that have started to shift and move. Some of the blocks have slid in towards you, others have slid back out. This tower is not long for this world. The blocks themselves seem to be shrinking a little bit in, and as that does, it just loosens up the set. A few of the stones from the ceiling have started to hang down at the point where quite soon they will be dropping. You would say maybe an hour at best that this tower has before it does not exist in this plane anymore. And you're at the top of it.
let's move as fast as we can towards the door.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
What about
then
the big
everything
guy?
will be falling on top of us.
What about the big guy at the door?
Oh, the bug eyes?
We
Or
just
Andry?
Oh, shit. The statue guy. Sorry, goat. Sorry, big guy. Didn't mean to confuse anyone there.
and our gnome friends.
They left
Oh,
us.
shoot. Oh yeah, we told him to go, didn't we?
We did what?
Did we? Yeah, because wasn't it like dangerous? So we told them to leave.
Wasn't that the whole point of them coming this way?
Yeah, and just another guy named Harry, thanks for the follow, and Vaguely Awake, thanks for the cheer earlier on. And as the party sort of starts heading down the room, they reach those double doors, throw those open, look down the first set of staircases. That seems clear. So as the discussion happens as they're heading down, they reach the room where they triggered a great number of crossbow traps, where we encountered a Medusa, and a statue disguised. Blow through those rooms, no problem there. Down the hallway, past the mist that threatened to dissolve their arms and weapons, to another stairway. And now as they look at this stairway, once again it seems very, very, very long way down.
The wizard has... Sorry, Wiz has an idea, everybody. Come together. What floor
Ready.
was that exposed wall that we saw in when we were trying to see if there was a secret door? Was it the second or was it the third floor? I think it was the third.
Say that again?
You were trying to look for a secret wall that was showing the Tower of Set. That could be our way out of here, so we don't have to deal with the big serpent guy. Not big guy, big serpent guy.
I think it was on the second floor, or the floor above the dragon, because it was, you had the dragon here, and then in a room just offset from that, there were ladders that went up. So I believe it was just one floor above the ground floor.
Well, if we get Big Eye to bust down that wall, we can get out that way. Huh? Because this place is already falling apart as is. That's my whiz idea.
Wait, when did you become so smart? That's
What?
a great idea.
Oh!
I wish I thought of it. So
Yeah,
what floor? This one?
No, next. No, keep going. We gotta keep going down. Yep.
Okay, let's go.
Yep.
It's a long way down.
It
It's
is
not.
a long way down.
It's not a long way. It's just 30 feet.
It's a long way down.
Yeah, I think we have 2 more floors to go, right?
Could I have a DC 15 wisdom saving throw from each of you as you decide whether or not it is a long way down?
It's fake. We know it's fake. It's so fake. Don't believe it.
Tann
Nothing
thinks
is
it's
real.
fake. Tahir
I
thinks
think
it's
it's
fake.
fake.
Dahrian thinks it's fake. Blitz, no! Andry, no!
I'm telling you guys, it's fake.
So, can I if Bowser is walking on their own, can I get one from Bowser as well? So Blitz, Andry, you see the others just sprinting ahead, leaping down at breakneck speed, disappearing off into the distance. Bowser bounding along as well. But the two of you, you just can't manage to keep up. Looking back, the other 3 of you just see them standing there, just kind of marching in place, not really going down the stairs.
Well, we made it through. Do we gotta just do we all just gotta tie a rope around Andry and just all heave together, and with our combined strength of probably 12, we can get him down the stairs?
Yeah, I think so.
Andry, we're gonna sprint back up the stairs and get you a rope! Actually, I'm just gonna throw it. What am I saying? The wizard, he's only 30 feet away.
Okay.
Rope!
So, what we need here is you to beat Andry in a grapple check, because he does not believe he can do it. So, Andry, could I get a strength athletics check from you to set the DC?
The wizard!
28!
Nice.
He ain't moving.
Andry! Stop it! Just let it happen! What are you doing? This is not tug of war.
Andry, you're convinced you're trying as hard as you can to go down the stairs and give up easily, but for whatever reason, your body's just not handling it. Whatever you're doing to shield yourself from tumbling down this insane series of stairs is kind of stopping you. The other thoughts?
What time of the day is it?
Yes.
What time of day is it? I believe you set out shortly after morning. You've been had a couple of rests, so we're probably getting towards evening at this point.
We're never gonna make it down, Blitz. Never. How did they do that?
I do not know. I feel as if the stairs were easier to climb than they are to descend. It
They
follows
were
physics.
terrible going up too.
Okay, go.
Wouldn't
You got any ideas?
Could we not-
Blitz know
Yeah.
that? Because wasn't he at the top when we were like, "You're doing great"?
Yep. Blitz is 100%. Blitz, what is going on in your brain to justify how long these stairs are now versus how short they were before?
Thinking about watched pots never boiling, and the literal, comparing that to his internal chronometer, if you will. It's a little data reference, but yeah, just trying to figure out. I don't know. Yeah, maybe the fact that the place is crumbling around us makes time seem longer because we're in a hurry.
Sure.
So how do we help these guys?
I have no idea.
Well-
I am completely at a loss.
They're done for. Time to go, guys.
Well, we tried. We tried.
Try again.
Perhaps if we stop trying altogether, allow ourselves to go limp, and let gravity take us.
I have an idea. I'll carry you down.
And close your eyes. Just close your eyes and just do one foot in front of the other down the stairs.
Sure.
I have no eyelids.
So,
What do
well,
you
that's
say,
true.
Blitz?
Put the shirt over it.
So some time passes. We'll say about 10 minutes out of the 60 or so that you have to get out of this tower before the stones start coming down on you. Andry and Blitz have now prepared themselves for this next effort. One is covering the eyes of the other while carrying the other. So could I get, at advantage from whichever one would like to roll it, a wisdom saving throw? You'd like to see a 15 or better.
It's all you.
Do it.
You can do this, Andry.
Wait, you want me to do it?
No. No.
So with
That's what he
Blitz
whispers to you as
handling
you
the
carry him,
reins, you are able to make your way down the stairs. You reach the hallway that had been filled with countless skeletal warriors, the small room where the statue of Set had existed, and the cold room that has the ice on the floor that you had to chisel away from the doors. You reach the next stairway. Anything else before you'd like to continue down there?
I'm going to do my last steps of the night.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump down the stairs.
You jump
Andry,
down
the stairs are okay. What are you doing?
He lands. You reach the hallway filled with sarcophagi and the remains of the mummies you defeated. You see the darkened room off to the north. You are now on the floor that you were targeting, and I believe it was the northwestern, northeastern wall. So as you make your way into this hallway, there's that mist covering the ground, cascading down the stairs that you know causes sleepy time if you get too deep into it, but you're okay up here for the moment. That northeastern corner there, you can see several of the blocks have shifted out of the way. And I will ask, Does anybody remember or know what's about to happen?
I do.
Yeah. That's still looking down the stairs.
Oh, that's right. There's a statue.
Sure is. You get over to that corner, you look to the right, he's standing there, big statue of Set looking back up at you, the lightning starts to crackle, everybody backs up for a second. What would you all like to do?
All right, what do we got?
I got two first level spell slots, sir. I'm spent. I got nothing for you. Best I can do is I got a Dahrian. I need
What?
you. He grabs and starts shaking you. Do you have the dome today?
Do I have what?
The dome, Dahrian. The dome.
The dome?
The dome, Dahrian.
Oh, the dome.
It's Cookie.
No.
Cookie. Sorry.
I do not.
What?
I do not have the ability to cast that.
You don't have the tiny hut today, Dahrian?
I do, but I do not have the
Dahrian,
strength to cast it.
it doesn't matter. It's a ritual spell. We could just read it out of our books.
That's true.
What if?
But that doesn't get us down. That doesn't get us down these stairs.
We don't need to go down the stairs. We need to go through the wall, Dahrian. Don't you understand? We could just put the dome up and you sit on the edge and cast your dome, so it's double doming.
Are we double doming?
We got two domes at once, Dahrian. Two for the price of one. Think about it.
I love how excited he is.
Okay, I think what I'm hearing is you want to cast one tiny hut to get enough of a buffer to get into the area you want, and then another tiny hut so you can work at the wall without getting hit by lightning bolts. That is certainly possible. Tiny hut is, what, a 10-minute cast normally, so an 11-minute cast for a ritual? Is that how that one
Got
works?
it. It's 11 minutes with the ritual.
Okay, so we're down to roughly 45 minutes, so you'll use up 11 of those there. How big a radius is the tiny hut?
I'm gonna
10
pull
foot,
up.
I think.
Oop.
10 foot radius.
Okay, so what that would mean is you could probably stand about here, get out to about here, then stand about here, and get yourself a nice bit of cover in there. That will chew up 22 of the minutes that you have remaining, taking us down to about 21-ish, 23-ish minutes remaining. But you would now have access to the wall where you believe you can bust out and exit. Does that sound like what we want to do?
Who's got a hammer?
I might have a hammer. I do have a hammer and a crowbar
An axe for
and
Andry.
pitons.
You have my rapier.
Wait, what? What's a rapier going to do against a wall?
Fine, you can have my hammer. I have a hammer.
All right.
A one-handed hammer.
One-handed hammer. So the party is now trying to tunnel their way out of the Dark Tower, shifting the stones out of the way. I think what we're going to need to see here is probably... we're going to say a... Did anyone have stone working?
Yeah, Blitz is expert. What do you call it? Expertise in it.
Blitz has
Could
expertise
he study
in
the wall and
stoneworking.
tell Andry where to strike?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So let's get a, call it a DC 15 for your stone working to pick the right stones and say, hey, this is the one. We're gonna push this one out. We're gonna pull this one in, kind of shift that around. And let's say if you pass, it'll take 10 minutes. If you fail, it'll take 15 minutes. If you super fail, it might take up to 20. We'll still need a strength check after this, but this is to do the plan.
Blitz?
Blitz is not a time to short circuit.
23!
Come on, buddy.
Sorry, I was
All
trying
right,
to find
pass.
it in the inventory.
You've got a 10-minute time frame at this point. We're down to about the 15-minute mark before the tower comes down, so you're working with the tower here. We are now going to need to see some strength athletics checks from the team. We're going to start at 20 minutes of work to do here. We will remove 5 minutes for everything that is a strength athletics check of difficulty 15 or above. So we need to see at least one person succeed, 2 people to at least have 5 minutes to squiggle your way out of there. So if I can see each of the party members give me a strength athletics check, or give me an argument for something better if you think there would be something else you could do to help shift around big heavy blocks.
Would I be able
Let's loosen his
to?
belt to get advantage.
Which belt? You got the density belt, right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
On the heavy setting, it grants advantage on athletics.
You got it. You boop, 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 flip
He's
that over
super
to the
heavy.
heavy setting.
Would it be helpful for me to cast guidance?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to cast guidance, probably on Andry.
Sure. Andry, strength athletics with a guidance.
Yep. D4.
D4. We want to see 15 or better. A 13 is not a 15 or better. Let's see that D4.
D4.
Okay.
Yay!
That gets us up to a
Alright.
16. Blitz pitches in, so we are now down to 10 minutes. You've got 5 minutes to spare. Who else is working on it? Tahir's in there. Wizard Flex.
The Wiz.
The
Wiz!
16. 5 minutes. It's going to go real fast. Dahrian, are you in this one as well?
Sure. Strength.
Strength athletics, you got it.
Okay, hold on a second. Why do I have advantage on my thing? Oh, I think that's for climbing purposes for my rope of climbing. No, hold on a second. It's wanting me to. Nah, here.
20. In almost no time, you managed to pull it apart. Blitz just managed to identify like the perfect situation in order to get through it. And you find yourself spilling out into the surrounding area. Let's move you over here. Let's move you over here. You figure you have about 15 minutes before the tower comes down as you escape from that tower wall spilling out into this area. Down below, I believe the Simian wrestling ring, if I'm remembering my way things line up here. But you are out of the tower. Congratulations. 15 minutes before the place starts to collapse. What are we doing now?
We gotta ward the dragon. It's not a good time for him. He's probably like locked up in his room thinking everything's gonna be swell and dandy, and he doesn't know a damn thing.
He'll be fine. He can teleport out of here. How
Well,
come you can't teleport out of here?
Is
Me?
Can't wizards do that?
Yeah, but I literally used everything to kill monsters, which killed none of them.
is this whole place going to collapse, or just the tower portion?
So the tower is going to disappear, and a lot of this place seems to structurally rely on that tower being there. So it's probably all coming down. Doesn't help that there were a series of earthquakes over the last day or so as well.
I'm gonna say let's skedoodle, and if we can rob the were-rats if we have enough time, and then we can get out.
Okay, so we're not giving this gem. We're not going to communicate anything to the dragon.
He doesn't want to be a part of the telepathic link. What can I say? Let's just run and just see where our path takes us, and then we'll figure it out.
All right.
I'm
I'm
sure
down.
he'll find us. I'm sure he'll find us. He's fine. He's got it. He's big.
Yeah. He's got portals. It's okay.
He does
And
have
and a long memory for grudges. Keep that.
Now, are we trying to get to the surface or into the Tower of Mitra?
I think either one of those would be
Whatever comes first.
safe.
All right, let's go.
Sure. So
Up the
from here, I believe the two ways that you know would be down to the Simeon area here, or over and down to down those stairs where the stables were.
Should we just jump down the hole?
Yeah, I'd
Yes.
say that.
Down the hole we go!
Down the hole we go.
Just
Making the fantastic descent into the squared circle. 1 second as I get caught back up here. You're going to be over in this area down here. I have no idea where your tokens are. I will find those in a moment. They're down here. Let's bring those back up here. Descending into the squared circle where Simeons had been wrestling in the past, Halfrung's minions. To the south, the wizard's abandoned laboratory that you never discovered that wizard. Out to the west, the entrance to the Tower of Set. The walls of the tower you can see are shifting in and out, shrinking, falling, dirt's coming down along the sides of them, stones are starting to break loose. It's going to be a bad time in some 12 minutes or so, but for the moment, where are we headed?
I'm thinking our best bet is to go through Dragon Chamber, give him the gem, fuck off to the tower, and climb all the way to the top that way.
I think that's probably. I think you're correct. I would think that we would be somewhat safe from all of the earthquakes and all of that inside the Tower of Mitra.
The tower has survived landslides and earthquakes before, so likely yes, though you do know that the tower's top is not as tall as the Tower of Set, so if everything collapsed, you'd be under 20 to 30 feet of dirt if you stayed within the tower. But I think what I heard was heading towards the dragon. Can I get a confirmation?
I would say, yeah.
Thumbs up.
Could we
Pardon?
perhaps ask Argon for passage as an addendum to the deal?
Sure. So as you rush in and you see Argon the Conflagrator there, he has one wing up sort of over his head as dirt kind of rains down. You can see as it hits its wing it steams and some of it even actually turns to slag. In front of him, arrayed in sort of a little set of order, you recognize your good friend Twizzletop, as well as Gnome Chonsky, Faber Fuzzwrinkler, Celine No More. The gnomes that had accompanied you into the Dark Tower. Argon has them lined up in a little row there. Welcome back, he says.
Hey, how's it going? This is horrible. We should all probably leave.
I see you are protecting our friends.
I was. They came out of the tower without the gem I asked for. But I am somewhat patient. And I knew you would come back. Have you brought my gem?
We have. Are you aware that it may very well be the Lich's phylactery?
That is quite likely. It's to be the crowning piece of my Museum of the Towers that I will maintain. I'd hoped to have samples from both sides, but Holomir's heart has eluded me for now.
You'll keep him under control?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Bad. This is really bad, everybody. But
It's better with him than with us. What the hell are we gonna do?
yeah.
Bring it!
Yep, I pull the gem out and hold it in my palm and reach it up to him.
Sure, and he reaches
grab.
down and just slowly pinches his massive talons together and still manages to be delicate enough to flick it up and just sort of like sets it in a little nook on his shoulder. Well done.
Hey, buddy, you gotta wait for us to get out of here.
That depends. What are you offering me for safe passage?
We just want to go
my
right
undying friendship.
I do not know that you will be among the undying.
I will be.
I'm an expert in the arcane, also perhaps expert in teleportations. You never know if you need to go somewhere. I could be your guy. Vacation?
And this friendship of yours, what is it worth?
So much.
Such as?
I mean,
And he seems like totally content to like talk the night away as like the stones of the tower are now shifting behind you, like it's starting to come down, the rocks are all falling, the gnomes are like,
perhaps we can further negotiations when we aren't in imminent peril.
but imminent peril will drive up the price.
Will it?
It will. Because the
Yes,
longer we
Andry.
wait
He's
here,
right.
the less likely you are to enjoy if I offer to take you to the plane of fire with me.
That's not that we don't
You'd
we
be willing to take us?
that
Cool.
that would be very, very bad to go there
Take-
for us.
Think of the arcane knowledge you can learn for such a thing. You can harness the elements from Dahrian.
You would be dead in about 1 minute.
So you would need passage to the surface, and he sort of looks up. It is some 100 feet, but I believe I could melt a path for you.
Or we could just go right over in there.
You could go right over in there, through my home once more. I believe you remember the price of passage.
Oh, shit.
I don't. What was the present passage again?
I think it's 1,000 each, wasn't it?
No, 1,000 was the sleep.
Oh, right. Oh, we got to bring him something to eat?
To show my friendship, I think we should give him the sword.
No.
was gonna probably fucking kill us if we saw him the
No,
A
he won't
sword.
kill us.
This is telepathy. They can't hear us.
Oh, okay.
Andry said it out loud. Andry?
I probably did say it out loud.
He said, a sword?
I forgot about the telepathy.
Not just any sword. He said the word. It's magic sword. Take it away, Andry.
You told me what it was, right?
No.
It's just a nice sword.
Take it away, Tann.
And so as you try to offer this sword, if we want to go mechanics-wise, we could just roll a persuasion check. You're offering a nice magical sword to a dragon just to cross 20-some feet. I would say a DC maybe 10, and he'll say sure.
Before I do attempt some persuasion, which I would like to just mentally, telepathically, are we sure we should, like, for sure, like, get rid of the sword?
It's nothing that I would ever use, but
I will give you 100 platinum if we just go across the room.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna try to persuade with the fancy magical sword.
If you want to go into the Mitra, it's fine too. But
I
we'll
didn't
still
quite
be
follow
buried.
what the final pitch was. They all talked at once, and the dragon just like looked between you like, I'm not on a timeline.
I'll try to do some form of persuasion to like sell the sword. I don't know actually what I would say because me myself am not very persuasive. So,
Hey,
I'd say,
hey.
if we regret offering that sword, I do have another.
I'm getting a
Oh?
phone call. I
Okay.
need to take Casey. I'll be right back.
You got Fang!
Oh, you do have Fang. Are you okay with that though? Like you've enjoyed
Not-
using that.
Not. I
You
would
have
miss him,
Max.
but I think this worm would take good care of him.
Okay, only if you give me like a yes, because I'll, everyone else seems okay with the dragon sword, but if you're like, yeah, I'll give it up, then it's up to you.
It's embarrassing to admit it, but I think it might be safer in his claws than mine.
You have claws.
Yeah, wait, when did you get claws? You know what? Never mind. Okay, so
You look over at him, and he is done up in the full Serpentor regalia. It's probably got
Yeah,
like
that's true.
little spiky fingertips on it.
Okay, well, okay, I guess in that case, if Blitz is truly okay with me offering the serpent sword, Fang, then I will adjust my pitch for that, like kind of explain it, like the background of the sword and like its various uses, and see if that it is a magical sword too. So hopefully that helps. Persuade, please.
Oh, that's a pretty good persuasion. So Argon says, that's acceptable, and he takes the sword and he sort of tucks it away. And as he's looking over Blitz, he says, should you tire of life at some point and go static, I would be willing to pay for you. You have a very good presentation of the cult of Set.
Oh wow.
You would look good in my museum.
You would display me?
Yes, prominently.
Does your museum receive guests?
Those I find worthy.
Are we worthy?
Well, he is my friend.
He's not answering. We're friends. That sounded like it was painful for him to say.
It's a win. That's what we call it.
The Wiz has expressed desire
shit, now he's gonna know.
to be sampled on multiple occasions. So,
Now you bring it up!
should you have a place in your museum, I think he might be interested.
I would be happy to display each of you as you were involved in the fall of the tower. A short-lived but interesting blip in history.
We just offer to be like Madame Tussauds like stuffed museum, like
I think he took him up on the offer. I don't know why, but it seems leaning that way.
oh my god.
So as the conversation resolves, Argon will open up a small rift for himself, drift back into the plane of fire. It closes around. The tower is collapsing at this point. The gnomes are like, yeah, time to go. They're off to the north, running as quickly as they can. What's the party doing now?
To the tower!
Sure. You rush into the base of the tower. You can see that the Shedu, as well as the Cleric that had been stationed outside, have been escorted in. You can see the little mice all coming up through the tower, in a little procession, wearing their nice, Sunday best. Everybody seems to be heading towards the top of the tower as you make your way through. Some are choosing to stay behind. They're stabilizing things. It look like they're going to try and weather what's going on within the tower. Others are making their way back out to the top. Some of the less mortal creatures seem to be content, to settle in where they are. As you reach the top of the tower, you can see Hollowmere as well as the others that you've left up there, waiting for you. Hollowmere seems a bit gray at the moment. His mustaches and hair not quite as exuberant. As he sees you, he still kind of brings himself up and reaches out to give you a hug. You've done it!
Are you
bet
okay?
your buckets we did. You look like shit.
No, it is fantastic. It is time. Finally, my brother and I shall join in battle once more. And he's just going around and like giving each of you a big hug, you know, and you can hear like there's always been a bit of a ticking noise when he's been around, and now it's just a little bit strained. There's a little bit of a grind and a click with each one, you know, as he embraces you. Finally, we shall bring the battle to Set and his sons. We shall prevent their spread on the world. I have you to thank. I felt it. My brother, so long, my companion has moved on to battle, and I will join him soon.
Now I feel bad that I lost your sword.
No, it was a worthy cause. It was a noble effort, and I think worth the sacrifice. That sword was meant for this battle, and this battle is over, but another begins.
Almir, you're a pretty freaking cool dude. I'm gonna miss you. And he gives him a quick hug and immediately like runs to the door that's just to the south of the room.
Yep.
And
Okay.
shouts, "Buddy, we gotta go!"
As you run to the south and you shout, you hear like, "Wah!" And then just a horde of kobolds start scurrying past, up mixing with the folks as they come up and through. Whatever small amounts of treasure you have left, they're bringing out your coin armchairs and other bits, helping to heap that on. And then it's ascending that tunnel up to the Temple of Mitra, where Cornelius, as well as Harrington, the cleric from down below, are sort of doddering about the place, like, you know, making sure that as the candles fall down, they put them back up and moving things about. The members of the caravan that you have rescued are in there as well. So up in the Temple of Mitra, out in Mitra's Fist, the party finds themselves. Holomir has kind of struggled his way up. He's fading. His clockwork heart is now faulting. Some of the gnomes and immortals are remaining behind, but everyone else is sort of piling out into the temple. There's a pretty good sized boom as the Tower of Set vanishes from the plain. There's a vacuum created and kind of a thundercrack in reverse. The ground starts to shift down, first one part falling and others you can see little ravines and gullies showing up, sinkholes and other things. The shifting will take quite a while to resolve. The makeshift houses of the inn have shaken up. The manor house is now tilted at an odd angle. The only building that doesn't seem to have suffered much is Cornelius's home and the Temple of Mitra itself where you sit, though the ground around it looks a little bit unstable. Now that everybody's out and you can see the evening sky once more, what are we doing?
Alright, is everyone alive? Big guy, you good?
Yes.
Do a quick roll call. Big guy. Cookie?
Cookie's
Cookie.
good.
Okay, you took a little too long to respond there, and I was staring right at you. I thought we lost you for a second.
I had a bit of an out-of-body experience, but I believe I'm good.
The goat?
Present.
Hunk?
I too was going to say present.
What's
And I am
House's name going to be? Good boy.
Metallic Roof.
Wiz. Who else are we missing?
The Griffin, Murky. What else did we collect down there?
Cornelius.
Here!
Well, no, he's right there.
Kobold. 1 through 8, whose name I say correctly every time.
Yo!
Polymere.
The gnomes.
I was gonna say gnomes. Did they run somewhere else, or did they go in the tower?
Only about half of the gnomes have decided to come out. The other half have decided to weather it in the tower to keep the treasures intact.
Oh, sorry, missing. Brother of Aphris, sister. She's not here. Good.
She is not here.
Oh. Is it like half the town waiting on the outskirts of the town?
Half the town is aging quickly into dust.
Umphalos.
Umphalos has not appeared. Likely staying behind to guard the gravesite of Mitra.
We can check up on the rest of them tomorrow. We don't know how bad it is. Right now, I think we need to get ourselves in order.
So, as things start to settle down, Holomir is definitely fading at this point. He probably has maybe an hour or so left, is what he's communicating to you. And he's spending that time praying to the statue of Mitra, offering his thanks, consulting with Cornelius, and trying to be a fairly boisterous individual for someone whose life is fading. And what he is saying is he's taking the fight to the Sons of Set. Now, having spent so long on the defensive and guarding, he's looking forward to charging forward once more, and to carry your works into the next realms. As he's sort of extolling that, Moomin, the fellow that you had rescued, who provided you with the riddle to Kafet, sort of gestures you aside and says, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done. Do you understand what you've done?
Not exactly.
No, not at all.
Well, you've set in motion events that have been some 600 years or more in the making. The forces of Mitra have long struggled against Set and his children. The difficulty, you see, is Set's children are blessed or cursed with his infernal blood. When they die, they come back not too much longer later. This ability for them to fight again and again wears down the good of Mitra and lets them strike forth rashly and then recover from it. The worst of these are his chosen sons, elevated to near godhood. Set can elevate any of his children when one falls, save for a short time when the celestial hosts of Mitra hold back the spirits of these chosen sons. That is what you have accomplished. I bore that note of Kafet to you in the hopes that you would strike down Kafet, but here you've found another instead. Of Set's 4 sons, 1 has already fallen, 1's name we know, and 2 only remain hidden. I hope you will be able to continue working against them, working with the Church of Mitra and my organization, the Obsidian Pages, so that we can rid Set's influence from this land.
Of course.
Splendid. Now, I came here with that riddle as I thought perhaps this temple that they referred to was related to the tower Set had here within Mitra's fist. It seems it was not, for it was not Kafet you faced, but another. There are other sources of trouble that my association had intended to investigate. We know of a troubled town to the north where a cult has arisen and is said to be stealing people away, much like Set's cult was doing here. It would take time to provision a company and send adventurers forth, but as you've already proven yourself, we can think of none better to engage for it. Have you any interests that would supersede this salvation of the world?
Sleeping. I could use some sleep.
Yes, of course. There will be time for that. Only I was... such a celebration, and so few people. I was a bit giddy.
What about the tax documents, everybody? And that originally what we came here.
Oh, good. Do you
Tax
still have those?
Not
documents?
completing the mission.
And you turn to look over, and the papers are just sitting there precariously on the edge of the the foot of the set. Maybe they're starting to blow away off into the distance.
Oh no.
I was totally imagining as soon as when the big rumbles hit, you just see them all slide and scared, oh man, now we gotta reorganize them.
Start all over. No, everything had just been finished on an abacus, and then as it shook, it just all went back together again. So, just the last bead had been flipped, and then. Within the town, you can see that there would be room for construction and reconstruction, and Morum, the leader of the trading group that you had worked with, will come over to you and say, I think I see an opportunity here, and I will establish a trading post to prevent any who would defile this area from settling again. You would be welcome as guests, and even more welcome, perhaps, as business partners or investors. Have you any interest in acquiring land and some measure of control over this area?
I think a presence of Selune may be warranted under the circumstances. So,
I think,
Yes.
having some place to return to wouldn't be a bad idea.
Excellent. Along with that, as the tremors settle, and we'll kind of fast forward over the next day or two, and as that day or two passed, of course, you get food and drink that are recovered from places. You hear no more of the minions of Set because they've basically turned to dust in this particular area. And you do get the benefits of a long rest and a well-deserved level up. So as we go off screen, do please apply your level ups as well. That brings us to the end of the Dark Tower of Set and leads us into the Chosen Sons of Set. Congratulations, party. You have survived. Very well done. And very entertainingly done. What I'd like to do from here is break out of character a little bit and talk about what we liked, didn't like, enjoyed, remembered about the module, and then line up anything that we might want to have for me to take care of off screen with all that loot that you have, and now access to the wide world of shopping. So after a long time, congratulations, you are back in the open market, and you can buy stuff and level up. We'll handle all that off screen unless there's something notable that you want to call out. But hey, let's turn it back over to you. It is a celebratory mood, though there's only maybe 25 people here. the plus 7 to 10 of the gnomes that came up. So it's a small party and a somber celebration. But everybody's trying to, you did it. Well done. Excellent.
Woo.
Good job.
Han would definitely give out some high fives, even if it's a bit tired. He'd be like, "We did it!"
High fives around. Excellent. So, let's start off with things about the module that you liked or didn't like, or would have liked to have me to have done differently. Feel free to throw shade or sunshine, either way. I definitely goofed up a couple of things, but I had a great time goofing them up. One of the things that I have definitely goofed up is I encouraged / allowed you to kill Afris and Avarkus way too quickly. You guys picked up on the dirty rats way too fast, but had a great time with what those results were. What would you like to say?
Well, one thing I would say, from my personal perspective, number one, I very much enjoyed doing this with you DMing and the rest of you as players. I think we kind of gelled pretty well. But I've been at this game for 38 years, done modules multiple times and everything. One of the funnest things for me about this is one I had never run before, so it was, everything was all brand new material, which is not common, I guess, for me when I play, so, I thoroughly enjoyed it. There were times I had just absolutely no idea what the heck was going on, and it's a very fun feeling. So, but I think, as far as you saying a couple things you screwed up, we kind of went in through the backside and kind of tackled it from a very different angle than probably was generally intended and everything. But I had an absolute ball. So
awesome.
Yeah, I have to say I appreciate, especially since I feel like I tend to save all my most ridiculous characters for you, that you at least for me, like, humored us and was just like, yeah, roll with it, let's see what we can do, and was able to, like, string together the nonsense that we threw at you with very little prep time. So if you did mess something up, I did not even know. I was gonna say I wouldn't have known. I didn't know, because it was just like the dungeon itself is also a bit of a fun house too. Like, there's a ton going on, so it's like,
yes,
it leaves lots of room for DM floundering that I didn't even know was going on until you were like, pick options 1 through 3. Why are you picking option 6?
There were a couple of times when the obvious paths were not the ones that were selected. Speaking of it being a fun house dungeon, one of the things I do like is there's basically a way to play through this module as a evil group, kind of going the opposite direction. So of the stuff you encountered, there's kind of a dark mirror flip of it. So if you do get the opportunity to play again, and you're looking for an evil group, a lot of good content still there. And I would say, even though you did a really thorough investigation, you tried very hard to get into every single room, there's still probably about a fifth or a sixth of it that was not triggered. So there is still other stuff that was lurking in there, in spite of your thoroughness.
We do try.
And were we really good?
You were on Mitra's side. I did. You were aligned with Mitra.
Right.
Just because, maybe around the table with everyone being aligned with Set would have been okay, but that would be difficult to do in public. I will encourage.
And one thing that I thought was really cool. Sorry to take up more time here or whatever. But
No.
I would, with it being virtual and somewhat difficult, the part where 3 of our party members swapped people would be a fantastic thing at a table where you just hand your character sheets over.
Yeah.
That was a very strange, weird, cool mechanic that was I thought it was fantastic, and for as well as we could have done that, or not. I say we, meaning as a group. I wasn't one of them that got swapped, but the 3 that did get swapped around was pretty fun. And then the insanity when we were all slowed.
Oh god, that was awesome.
That was. I got a good chuckle out of it when I watched the stream again, because it lasted for about 45 minutes or so. It was just insane.
We did that for so long. I was like, I feel so bad for for people who might have to watch this later, like during. They're like, just talk normal.
You know what? It's
so
fine.
funny.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And speaking of people watching us, El Banditas, thank you very much for the follow as well as the cheer there. Happy to have you out there. Very cool to hear that you've been playing some D&D. We've I want to say Gabe at least is native Italian, if I'm remembering. So if you happen to want to swing into the Discord and pester Gabe, happy to have you swing by and say hello. I unfortunately am single lingual and just barely manage English on my own. But swing by and say hi. Always happy to have more folks out there. We are wrapping up with our Dark Tower session. We've got the remaining modules, the Chosen Sons of Set, coming up, and we're just doing a little bit of a recap here, talk about things we liked, things we didn't like, so maybe I can modify what I may or may not be planning for the upcoming additional modules. Any other feedback or jeers that we want to throw around towards each other? I do have a couple that I want to throw out there if we're starting to run out of ideas.
I would like to thank the group for buffing Andry at every chance. That was a lot of fun. He did struggle to keep up with some of your guys' damage, and that made this like a wacky ride for me, because I never knew when all of a sudden I was going to have haste and all kinds of things. It was good.
I'm glad you didn't mind us like messing with your character by just throwing stuff at him. It just, your character's already so strong, and the idea of like doing anything to make him like even more badass than he already was, it was just like, yeah, let's just keep like piling it on.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, and if you hadn't been buffed like that, I don't know that we would have done so well against those statues. I mean, I think those statues were incredibly tough creatures.
Well, even that room, like when we went into there and there was so many things attacking us, but everything was attacking me, and it didn't really matter because I could take it.
Yeah,
and
it
made sense that they would attack me because I was huge and I was like the biggest target. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I would say that you guys did more wrecking than I did, but it was more an intimidation factor.
Excellent.
Yeah, man, this is my first trophy unlocked as far as finishing. I mean, I know we're still going, but finishing a module.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've got the trophy, the Dark Tower, the module. You have completed it successfully. We are now into bonus content.
I'm glad it is the first, because it was really awesome. Yeah, every aspect of it. I don't know how you keep track of all that stuff, man. Like just even when you were doing that little recap at the end there about all the people standing around, and he's like, and then the person you met there, and the person you met there, and remember the one over here whose name was this. I'm like, what the heck? How does he remember it all that? I can't even remember what my character did. You know, you're like going with all this That's very impressive.
The secret to that is to have NPCs with very low hit points, so you can knock them off real quick and just keep the ones you want. The ones that I knew I needed Moomin because he was the Obsidian Page, which will carry you to a little bit further. Cornelius, I would feel bad if anything actually happened to Cornelius that wasn't in plot, so he's going to head over to his dotage and keep up his little shrine. Halomir is going to go join his brother, and somewhere down in the dungeon. No, not down in the dungeon. Probably hanging out up top now. TP'd above the new big pile of treasure are Sydney and Hargrove, your animated doors. So you probably do have your doors with you. The kobolds would have likely taken care of that.
Nice.
So got that going.
God, what are we gonna do with those two and their diamond?
I bet they never thought they'd see outside.
True.
They have to go into our house or temple or whatever we build.
Yes.
Oh, imagine if they were in
Put
like
them on the doors to Mitra.
The front door and the back door.
Mitra and Saloon.
This is biting a little off my other character, Farnsworth, but Blitz, I think, would like that idea about the museum as Argon was talking about it. It sounds like the type of thing that, about a museum that's open to all, as opposed to just the elites that he's going to bring into his museum. We could have like a museum that, the people could come and just learn of all the crazy stuff that's going on or happened here. That was,
That'd be a cool idea.
And then those doors could be kind of like, the button you press at the museum and it tells you a little story about the thing you're looking at.
The first interactive museum.
Hargrove might be game for that. Sydney might need some bribing, but we'll maybe.
Maybe she could be security. Well, if she accept bribe, maybe not so much security. But
again, it depends on how far each of them needs to be from that diamond. So gotta worry about that one. So we've got those going on. I did want to call out one or two things, just kind of that I thought were amazing. First one, I'm going to go with Blitz's character. I'm going to say arc, but I'm not sure that it actually arced so much. It was a straight line, just as the not quite human aspect the whole way through. Just every once in a while there was a straight line there that was just amazing, and really glad that worked, I guess, because at time of character pitch I was like, I'm not gonna say no, but I don't know how this is gonna work out. But really glad that all came together.
It was mostly a little bit of, a lot of watching Star Trek Next Generation growing up, you know what I mean? And Short Circuit.
Awesome. Dahrian, just as a consistent steadying / wise force was very Cleric in my mind. Like that was a great persona to have to kind of counterbalance some of the zaniness over there while still doing very creative things along the way. Launching yourself into the air, being there in the forefront, coming up with interesting spells to use, and then a little bit of a laugh at the end. Bless! Why haven't I been using Bless? Like that just seemed like a great Cleric has been too serious moment, and then finally goes like, just back to basics. So I really enjoyed that set. Andry the whole way through was a little bit of a roller coaster for me, as far as watching the character be responsible by being reckless, like being the meat shield to take the risks. And even though you're not 100% barbarian, in my head you feel barbarian, even though I know you're way more fighter than barbarian. But it just seemed like a very cool set, as well as the quirks to the personality that you picked up after getting Lawgiver and some of that influence in there. Very well done on that piece. Tahir and Tann have been a very fun combination together, as well as individually. I don't know what's going on with the wizard and the strength and the sword attacks. I don't know how that connects, but it was a lot of fun the whole way through, seeing you frontlining it, strength checking it, and still throwing down massive fireballs and teleporting all over the place. And then Tann having that just kind of erratic energy showing up, disrupting whatever I planned. Whatever I planned, if Tahir didn't mess it up by teleporting, Tann would be 3 different places at once carrying electrical charges throughout all my enemies.
I am so sorry I did that to you, but you did say we are testing the module, throw what you can at it. I was like, okay. I'm going to be absolutely stupid, and I am so sorry, Casey, because you do deserve better
stuff.
from me.
All good stuff. Had a great time with it, but it was definitely one of those like, all right, I got a battle plan this time. They're one door away. I know what's going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen. All my plans, right out the window. But speaking to the benefits of the module again, the module is very forgiving of that. Like, the rooms are linked together and have a storyline that flows through, but there's enough of a disconnect between them that you can kind of get a reset in there, even though you killed the demon that I didn't think you were going to kill, or you banished this one, or you did those sorts of things. Everything kind of settled out. Cool.
And as for you, Casey, great job. Very hard DM. I think everybody died, didn't they? At one point, I know Dahrian. I died.
I think
that
Tann and Blitz are the only survivors.
Yeah, I don't think I died. Did I go? I think I went.
But you're kind of undead, anyways.
I would like to argue that Tann and Blitz died in the prequel. Okay.
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah,
I was
undead already.
Yeah, I don't think I ever stated it explicitly, like, in the game, because it didn't really matter to come up, and I don't know if he would, like, if Tann himself would actually recognize that he's undead. He probably should, but he's just not that smart of a guy. The cleric that brought him back, well, he was a cleric, he was a vampiric cleric, so that's where the wall climbing and all that stuff comes from. Like, he technically has a bite attack, but he's never used it because he prefers to zip around.
I think you bit something once, because I remember you doing it like one time. You bit something back. It was kind of
I want to say the same thing. And you're getting some points on it.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember.
I don't think too many people were in the room when you did it. If anybody was.
Yeah, because I think someone. Yeah, wasn't it like something bit me? I'm gonna bite back because like I had a bonus action or something, or like I don't remember what it was. I don't think it was a bonus action though. Actually, now that I think about it, I think I just wanted to use it at least once because I knew I was never gonna use it, and I think I missed because it's not very good.
But yeah. So
and I was gonna say the room I died in, that was an insane room.
That was a crazy room.
That was insane.
That's the TPK room right there. Imagine if we all went in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A party might, right?
Yeah. That room. What did it do? It did something like 10 first level, 10 second level, 10 third level spells just stacking their way up, or like 1d10 of them, and it just worked its way up from there. So it was just all the magics get unloaded you if you happen to be in that room.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was like a magic missile Gatling gun is basically what happened to me, and I killed him.
Yeah, because it got you with a ton of magic missiles in the first event in that room, but from there it moves up to being like then it does the burning hands, then it does like fireballs, then it does like walls of fire, and it gets crazy in there.
Yeah, I just remember picturing Dahrian like already dead, but still getting pelted by spell after spell.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought we had a great mix of characters too. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with parties per se or whatever, but I thought it was a really good, like Andry was pushing the action forward all the time. I thought that was really good for the story, and
Yeah.
I mean, Dahrian would just come out of left field with the end him. That kind of had a similar effect too. And then you guys' banter back and forth, man. TNT were dynamite in my eyes, man. When you guys went off and just started interacting with each other like long friends, it was really awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I had so much fun through this module. I'm having trouble thinking of a critique because I enjoyed it so much. Yeah, I know it's like it's good, especially for something that's like in works and stuff. It's good to offer like critiques and help in terms of that stuff, but I am struggling to do so because I just had a very fun time.
Now, the good news is, as far as the critiques go, they have polished up the module. It's in the proofreading stage, so any nonsense has been mostly stamped out of it. But for other folks who might be going into it and saying, how do I avoid making the mess that Casey made, then that's kind of where we want to aim for. Things that I would love to figure out how to handle, but I just have not figured out how it works in 5e yet, is timeline. This whole thing happened in 2 weeks for you. It really feels like it should have probably been more like 2 to 3 months of adventuring in and out in dungeons, but I just think that's a disconnect with 5e versus the earlier editions.
Yeah, well, because we all get like instant heals anytime we take a short rest.
Right.
Mhm.
You don't get that in the first edition. You would have to take weeks, if not
Yeah.
months.
Right. And also because we're handling it in a streamed version, I'm not going to, do a lot of downtime on stream, that kind of stuff. So, that we're kind of moving along for that purposes. But I would like, in my mind, to do the whatever they call the difficult version or the hardcore version. Like I think Alex did in the Ravenloft to you, where short rests are a day, long rests are a week. That one, which does add that extra level of resource management and time passing.
Yeah, and especially not telling us beforehand. Like,
Yeah.
we were using spells, and maybe I would have kept that spell, but...
You know what I like? He dropped that in... at least 3 or 4 people in the channel knew that was coming for you. And that secret was kept. Because he had mentioned it at one point, and I was like, "Oh, I won't be the one to tell him."
Well, and it's always funny when Alex brings it up because then he just starts giggling.
Yep.
As he's telling us.
Yeah. So as far as moving forward from here, what I think is probably going to happen is some of the folks are going to start resettling Mitra's Fist. They're going to open it up as sort of a trading post. Cornelius and Harrington are going to have a Temple of Mitra, but they're not going to allow or try to avoid allowing treasure hunters. We're not going to dig this out one more time. If we want to clear the valley, they're going to do it by actually clearing the valley, stone by stone, moving it away, using it to build houses so that the valley is now clear. Maybe someday, years from now, the Temple of Mitra will be revealed in full, but it won't be to raid it for treasures, it will be to restore the actual town. So that's sort of what I think is going to be happening there. That sort of thing takes money. And they look over at you and your 350 pounds of gold and the kobold servants that you have carrying out the platters like your Egyptian pharaohs. And so, maybe there'll be a little bit of a, donation time, please. Cornelius suddenly gets very sharp with his pencil when doing taxes and calculates your taxes in an instant. So that's kind of where I'm thinking there. We'll give some opportunity to invest in, trading post or temple or whichever it happens to be. Saloon, of course, would be a welcome addition to the town if you want to invest some of your funds in that way. But as far as the rest of the stuff that you might be investing your funds with or doing in this wild world that you have, so I have a little bit of an idea what to plan for, any big plans that we should maybe talk about and do a session on before we head to the next destination? Is there anywhere that we wanted to visit other than dropping off your tax returns?
Tahir would pick up a new spell that probably would be important
Okay.
at some point. Teleportation circle.
Sure. Boop, 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 boop.
And I guess I get to choose 2 places, or you tell me 2 places I already know. I think it's part of the spell.
Correct. So you would already have the teleportation circle that is currently buried down below as one of the temples of Mitra. So within Mitra's tower, there is a teleportation circle, so you would be able to move to and from the buried tower if you chose. That would certainly be handy. You have that one for free because you already took that inscription down. Other ones that you would probably have in the area would be likely one back to the town that has the main Temple of Mitra within it. That town name is escaping me at the moment. And if you would have thought of one from your past that you maybe would want to have, we can give you that one as well. If not, we can invent another one that would be local and a reasonable destination for you to have recorded. Andry,
good.
Blitz, Dahrian, Tann. Oh.
I was gonna ask. I think Dahrian, you had mentioned Did you want to do like a temple to saloon?
Yes, that's one of the things. I don't think I have enough money exactly to do a whole temple, but initially something small. Want to get word to my higher ups, let them know what happened, and more or less let them know that I can establish that. Because there's no way I'm going to be able to man the place or whatever. That we'd need to have people come here, acolytes and things of that nature. I can do a little proselytizing or whatever, but this is a Mitra stronghold, so
Sure.
Implanting some from the outside to assist with things and bringing supplies and whatnot. But I definitely could, that's what I'm thinking to help keep an eye on the area.
You got it. So basically, what you would be so there is the Temple of Mitra that's already here. You would be leaning in towards the construction of a temple or an abbey, or maybe just a little house of worship. If you wanted a
small chapel or something like that.
Let's say a full-on temple would be in the 50,000 gold piece range. A small chapel would be in the 10,000 gold piece range. So we'll kind of talk through what you're looking to set up there, but certainly doable. And that would be something that you would sort of invest in now. Workers would start coming in, construction would start happening, artisans would be hired, acolytes would be recruited, so that kind of can all be going on in the background, and we'll have some details there. Andry, Blitz, Tahir?
Andry
Or Tann,
would be investing probably 10,000 gold into the Temple of Mitra. And you might say that he is going to become a zealot of Mitra.
Oh.
Nice.
1 second, please. Having said that,
he takes on the cultist.
yeah, let me just look here, because no one had done this yet. But there are some special effects of actually dedicating yourself to Mitra.
Well, that's interesting.
Mechanically. And let me just take a look here. I will have to check and see if we've got anything that happens on the Barbarian. The normal zealot stuff will apply, of course. And I will check and see if we've got any special Mitra effects for having dedicated yourself in that fashion.
Awesome.
Andry, anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
Cool. Tann has escaped, so Blitz, anything for you? Or
I think he might set about trying to get his head fixed
Oh,
We could,
sure.
like, maybe-
So Greater Restoration will take care of that for you. I think that was just a matter of getting the spell slot back. So you can have your
nice.
intelligence back.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
I believe that was just a shortage of spell slots that kept you on the reduced side.
Yeah.
The actual
Okay.
artisan work to repair the hole that had been melted in your head, that's a separate situation. Employ artisans as necessary.
I don't know. He might be able to do that part himself. He's got like the knowledge of metalworking skills and whatnot. Oh
Sure.
man, what the dang it, what was I gonna say?
If you want a new like headpiece, I have this. I have Mitra that no longer works. It does kill the whole vibe of the serpent look.
Oh,
mm,
oh.
yes, it might clash.
As a. All right. Anybody who's listening who wants to play through this and doesn't want to hear spoilers, earmuffs for a few seconds, because I'm going to talk to the players about something that they missed, and I'm just wondering if they missed it intentionally. Did you all pick up that there was combo effects on the Mitras?
I did hear that was when they mentioned us on the Goodman Games stream. I was
Okay.
looking to see where they mentioned it, and then they said, "Oh yeah, if you could combine the artifact of Mitra onto one person, something happens." Like, oh, I shouldn't
Yeah.
hear this.
Same here. Yeah, same here. And I just forgot it. I pretended I didn't know. I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna
Okay.
have Blitz mention that, or
And no
Yeah.
problem. I was just curious because it was like I'm like, wow, none of them have done this thing yet, but it seems like it would be a thing that they would try. So I wasn't sure if you were intentionally avoiding it or it just hadn't occurred to try that one off.
I think
So
the closest we got was I was offering the eye to Andry and said, "Hey, your sword's
flat
broken.
Turned it down.
Your sword's broken. This makes your sword magical if you want something."
He was having none of it. All right, so there we go. So Tux, you can take your earmuffs off. I just wanted to check in on that one because that was one of those quirks that the party did that I was like, huh, that one threw me for a loop. Cool. So Blitz, anything else that you wanted to get accomplished on your side? Any side quests that we might need to pursue?
I mean, he'd probably return the whatever specimens he's collected to Strixhaven and let them download whatever information they want from his research and let them know where his update. I guess that probably wouldn't take long or be that difficult. And then he might suggest maybe they could put some type of learning thing that set up in this place. I don't know what, like some kind of, what do they call that? A remote. They have a word for that when colleges like make a. What the heck is it called?
Satellite
Look, satellite. That's it. Satellite location. Yeah,
Satellite club?
you might suggest that
So
to them.
Blitz-
Just
Blitz, you remember the satellite college? I know inside jokes are a terrible thing in D&D groups sometimes.
That's satellite club.
We're all
So-
satellite clubs at one point.
We are all satellite clubs.
Everybody's just remember the satellite club. Yeah, absolutely. So you can certainly invest in that. That could be some gold that you're spending in this town to establish a small school or a small research place. Red Moon Pass does get trade through it, and there is nothing here right now. So basically, there is some rubble, 2 or 3 standing houses, 1 temple of Mitra, and then on the opposite side of a mountain, a bunch of angry hobgoblins with griffins. So, prime real estate opportunity. Cool.
And then just from a logic standpoint, he might argue to the Mitra people, perhaps if you offered similar benefits to Set, he had you on the ropes for so long by making his people immortal. That might be something you want to look into. he might kind of just suggest that as like a,
I think Cornelius, like as you're like making this presentation to Cornelius and Harrington, they'll just sort of like reach out and each one of them just puts a hand on your shoulder and you can like feel the shake through their hands and they're like, we'll take that under advisement. And then they just sort of like turn away, shaking their heads as they walk away. But yeah, all right, cool. So Tann, I think you're the last one that I haven't asked about side quest or plans. What do we got?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to think on it. Like, he might like donate something like to a little bit to like all the groups. So like maybe like the school, like the saloon, Temple of Mitra. I haven't really figured out like how much to donate yet exactly, but I think he would want to donate to a little something. And since it kind of feels like we're in a way kind of like rebuilding the town, like he'd probably want to contribute in some fashion. I just haven't figured that out yet. Maybe he used to, in his days before he was resurrected, technically he was actually a smuggler. So maybe he'll put contacts out to see like who would be willing to do more legal trading and to help kind of get people to come out into the desert and like kind of send them like, hey, here's like a safe path to get here. Like this town requires goods, looking to buy or people to settle down. I would imagine since it's in the middle of the desert and recently had a war against chaos and order, maybe the housing market's a little cheap. So like I don't know.
I mean, it's a dirt cheap housing market because all it is dirt.
Yeah, so like maybe he'll just kind of like send letters out to like his family, like people he used to trade with, like and like clarify like, hey, like this isn't like, this isn't like the secret like stuff that like we used to do. Like no, this is like we're trying to actually like kind of help bring life back into this place. And so I think he'd probably focus some time into that.
Sure.
I don't know what else, but that's kind of where I'm feeling it out right now, because yeah, I think that's just kind of where I'm feeling it out. I still gotta think on it some more, but that's where I'm feeling makes the most sense for him.
Sounds good. So what we're probably going to do, just to let a little bit of time pass in the world, is we'll probably do like a 2-month or so in-game fast forward. So between this week and next, if there is any extra stuff you want to do, downtime activities, purchasing stuff, that sort of stuff, feel free to expend your monies from there. During that time, you will be getting some additional information about that town that's in trouble. It's a way up to the north at the base of one of the mountains there. So basically come south out of the pass, head up along the mountain range, and then it's right up there. We'll talk about what that is and kind of what feedback you might get. Since Tann is doing some reaching out to other trade areas, you may get a little bit of feedback there. We might get a little bit of scholastic knowledge from Blitz. Tahir is now bouncing around between different towns. Andry is investing with Cornelius and Harrington, so a little bit of feedback there. And then Dahrian will get a little bit of support from the Temple of Selene. So you'll have some information and support coming from those different angles as we come back into that set. You will be notable people. You are heroes of a far above average level at this point. So you will have some influence in the area over those folks. So when you do speak to the Temple of Selene, Dahrian, you are now speaking from a place of authority. You have done a great deed in her service. Tahir, as you start to ask for magical spells, people are happy to loan you their spell books and interested to see the variations of the spells you have and to learn more of the wizard and can you really bend steel bars in your hands. Andry, Cornelius, and Harrington are speaking very well of you. Your debts are considered repaid, and of course the debts that you had towards the Temple of Mitra, for some of you that did come into this with those debts, they're off the books at this point. Taxes is a different situation because there's a lot of rebuilding that needs to happen now that after all this damage is done. So, Cornelius has still got a big ledger he's got to deal with. Blitz, Strixhaven, I don't know, man. Like when you said they're going to download some information, all I could think of is you walk in, they just like remove the front of your face dome and lift out your brain and drop it into something that starts, scribing that onto paperwork. I think it's because I just watched the Baldur's Gate 3 intro and all I'm thinking is italics at this point. So We'll figure out what they can do. Kind of in a crazy mage support kind of way. You've definitely accomplished things. I don't know how much credit they give since they called you a hunk of junk. Maybe they just drop the junk part and just go with hunk.
That was
That's
just one
maybe what
curmudgeon.
maybe that's what
He
we've
didn't agree with
accomplished.
the whole experiment.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's what we're doing. So next week we'll be back. We'll be leading into that Chosen Sons of Set. We'll be giving out some more information about the areas you're heading to. If we think up any other stuff along the way, please feel free to let us know. Anything last shout-outs before we close out the session here?
One thing
Sure.
with the kind of what we had been talking about here, there's still those hobgoblins, I guess I happen to...
Sure.
That we may have to send somebody over to communicate with them to let them know that whatever deal that they had with the town is now over, and if they wish to, strike up something new, that's fine, but they need to not raid people and whatnot. I guess I just threw that out there.
No trading in people.
Correct.
No trading in flesh.
I'm sure Tahir can go and tune them in.
I have
I
prepared
would-
spells to mess them up.
And
I'm still waiting for my revenge.
And if we do want to go from like an actual like persuading route, even though I didn't really do a ton of that, like technically Tann can he's proficient enough in that to actually help with any verbal communications
Sure.
that might need to be done.
So just to give me some planning concepts, for this initial communication, so the hobgoblins are over there. You did sort of strike a deal with them at one point, so they would know you and know not to attack you. If you were to go over there and sort of open that up with what? They are trading in griffins, so the business that they are running is they are raising and selling griffins. That requires a tremendous amount of flesh, horse flesh preferably. That is one of the reasons that they were doing that. They could also, of course, do some hunting. There's wild animals out in even though it's a desert with animals. And there's the mountains. There's the goats. Not that goat. The other goats. But so there's things that could be done. Is this hey, we want to renegotiate, and almost civilize them? Is this a threat? Be good or we're going to come stomp you? What's the angle that the presentation might be made at?
You know what would be a good idea is if they started raising horses, because then they could feed the griffins.
That's true. However,
There's not a lot of grass.
due to the wrestling matches that you've had to do with your baby griffin to keep it away from the horses, you know that griffins really can't exist within sightline of a horse. So raising them both in the same area would be very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, my thinking was that more or less this area is kind of, it is beginning. It's beginning.
Mhm.
There's a new beginning here now. They have been involved with raiding and all of this kind of stuff, which that would have to stop. It would be to, kind of more civilize them. That there would be more people moving to the area. We definitely could start something where there were people that would, I would guess that where this sits, this is going to be even more of a way station than it was. It was kind of like a one-end way station, where now it's going to be, people can go north and just kind of basically everything here is going to be changing, and we are willing to work with them and trade with them, not in people. I'm sure there would be people that would be interested in their griffins, but more or less saying, we're starting from scratch here. You guys need to, people are going to be coming here for trade, and we can't have them raiding those caravans anymore. If that happens, then they will. Then we will make it stop, as opposed to saying, "Hey, cut it out. We can work on a mutually beneficial trade agreement here, and see what they say to that." That would be my thinking on the approach to that.
So that sounds like a good opener. Anybody want to add any details to that?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you good. You take it. You got it.
I was gonna say, with that kind of like being the opener, like we're looking to like the whole start fresh, like take away like the shady raiding illegal aspect of it. Or like maybe like Tann would suggest, like maybe that if they follow along with this ideal, they won't need to be hiding out in the mountains anymore. Like they can have they'll have access to like passages that now they don't need to like hide and protect. Like now they'll have an allyship basically. And then on the business side of things, Tann himself would be interested in putting out feelers for people, so now if it interests them, he could send out extra feelers and extend business further than perhaps what they are doing right now.
Okay.
And so, but that again, like he would be stressing the point that like Dahrian made, like this is we're going like fresh start, like we're looking for ethical business practices. I think that's what he would kind of suggest, like, hey, because this is such a big change, like we can put out like the information about the business. You will now you won't have to. We could even get it not only like to sell the griffins, but to bring in horses, because I mean, I forget who said it, but you're right. Like the desert is not a good place for raising horses, and it's not like, again, they can't be here because of the griffins anyway, like you said before. So they would have better access to the resources they need, and then the business they drum up could help in return build up the town as well. Again, with that whole stress of
Sure.
the ethics.
And also in building the town, we're going to need manpower to. That this would be something rather than a number of them sitting around, not doing anything. Basically, we'll pay you to come and help us build buildings. Utilize them. And pay them.
Mm-hmm. Maybe even like if it's so chill with everyone, like offer them a place like within the town. So, like, maybe, like, that zone in the canyon is where they raise their griffins, because you probably can't have griffins in town if people are coming in with horses and caravans, but maybe after that, they, like, now, like, shift out the workers. They can have a safe place to, like, relax, go to the tavern, like, they can, find... It's no longer surviving, they might have a chance to thrive.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe with the griffins they could replace the town guards that are all dead now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was going to say mutually.
I was wondering if anybody was going to come around to that one, but go ahead, Darius.
I was just going to say mutually, mutually protect each other.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, all the dangers in this valley probably aren't completely over, but
mm-hmm.
there's power in numbers, and work together and have a mutual agreement of military protection for each other.
Yeah. I'm not sure how a griffin guard would work with like the caravans, but kind of like I do like that idea.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how like the logistics of it would work, but
Takes
yeah, I
that's
just
Well,
like hobgoblins riding griffins. You know what I mean? So they control them. I don't know.
Mhm.
Sure.
Everything.
Yeah.
Assuming they
and,
don't
and,
turn on us.
and in a
Yeah.
mountain in a mountainous area,
Good puppies.
griffin patrols would be incredibly beneficial.
Mhm.
So
Got it. So, speaking of lingering trouble and new opportunities, I would say probably Andry would have the opportunity to be served drinks by the most professional waitress the town has ever seen. Because I don't think militia was ever dealt with. So, at some evening, as you're going through, she'll settle down next to you, Andry, serve you a drink, and sort of, ask you for the lay of the land. Is there still a place for her here?
Of course.
Splendid. And she will offer her services to keep the tavern lively when it's reestablished, and she'll be about should you need her.
Well, of course I'll need you. We always need more alcohol.
And she makes sure that your cup stays full for the rest of the evening in her charming and bubbly fashion. Blitz, Dahrian, Tahir, Tann. You will eventually notice that militia is serving Andry. And reactions?
I'm drawing a blank on Militia.
You'd be
The
dead. The
succubus.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Would make a
No.
great server.
Yeah,
You survived the collapse, huh?
Of course. I'm an excellent survivor.
Well, you didn't die like the rest of the town, so I guess that's a plus.
No, I was born immortal.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. We know your whole deal. You know?
Yes.
Dahrian.
yeah. I don't think that this is the place for you anymore.
Oh, such a shame.
Wait, who's gonna run the bar then?
We got Skip in the back right there.
Yeah, we still got Stone Tooth, right? He's still
Nope.
alive, right?
Nope.
Nope, he's dusty.
dead.
You know,
Oh,
we
that's right. Yeah, okay.
we do have a game
You know who
kobold,
could
so
run the
that works.
bar?
Oh, we do
I
have
could-
kobolds.
I could run the bar.
That's certainly an option.
Can you lay on the seduction there to
Can
get
you-
bringing them tips?
Can you lay off your own supply?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I think he was looking more for a yes.
Are you going to invest in it if I do?
Maybe.
Alright, I'll quit drinking just for you.
Oh wow.
He whispers, I give him 3 days.
And
I
like
don't make bets.
as you're quitting drinking, militia is just refilling your cup for you.
Oh, no more for me. I'm good.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm proud of you, big guy.
Go ahead. It's right there.
So what we're saying is Militia has to go.
Yeah,
She's a succubus.
she'll eat some of the people that come
She
through
doesn't
here.
have to go home, but she can't stay here.
Yeah, that's right.
And
I'm sorry, Militia. I think they've decided you have to go.
and with that, she just gives you a hair ruffle and then heads off, sauntering away.
She'll be back.
Probably. Yeah.
I give her 2 days.
Yes, I think she likes you, Andry.
Everybody likes me. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, I guess Set doesn't really like me, but he tried to kill me so many times.
He did.
And so, let me think here. As far as the Dark Tower is concerned, I believe we have solved all of the mysteries, except for the sleepy puppy that's probably sitting in the middle of the table.
And now there's you,
That's the guard dog.
the biggest problem of them all.
So, on that note, I think we'll bid everyone good evening. And thanks everybody for hanging out. If you like what we're doing, swing by and say hello in the Discord. That is where we gather our players to play in our games. We'll be back next week, starting into the Chosen Sons of Set, the additional content that was created by the Goodman Games team for the Dark Tower release. Thanks everybody. Have a great night. Let me look over here and see if we've got any friends out there to raid. Gonna assume Alex is busy at Gen Con to hit the button for me, so let's see who we can find out there. One moment, please. Team, please do some singing and dancing to fill time here.
Thank you.
Okay,
Casey,
but
for running
Wiz,
the game.
is that really a good nickname?
The Wiz?
Wiz.
The Wiz?
Wiz.
Just
The Wiz.
Wiz, not the Wiz. Just Wiz.
Oh, okay.
Why can I add the? We got Hunk, we got
Because
we got Cookie, we got Big Guy. You get 2 names.
because I'm big.
Yeah. No.
You're little. I'm big.
What does that have to do with the
I'm one.
He's
How
a
dare
little
you?
How tall is Tahir?
Yes. Elf heights.
What's that? What's elf height?
You wouldn't know. We use the
Alright.
metric system.
You
Is
can
there-
have
don't-
two, you can have 2 names, Wiz. We'll call you Wiz Kid.
No, you gotta be careful. That's copyright. Can't do that.
All right, we're getting ready to go over and see Lord Kasumba. Thanks everybody, and have a great night.
Thank you, everyone, and Casey.